Right, everybody, welcome back to the channel. It is Daniel Farke week, the third and final video of the Championship week on the channel, and it kind of bridges the gap, I think, between the two. So we had the Ipswich version earlier in the week, the McKenna tactic, where it was very fast and progressive, get the ball forward, not as quickly as possible, but definitely in a direct element. And then the Leicester City version was very much getting those possession numbers when we remember we were smashing 70% plus possession. Today is a little bit between the two. I think if anything, in real life, it heads towards more the Ipswich Town tactic with just being a little bit more reserved. If we could see the team sequence styles, Leeds United are right here. There you go. So at the moment, they're heading more towards the Ipswich side. So there's Ipswich in terms of, so vertical is the direct speed of attack. So higher the club badge, the more fast and direct the tactic is. And then the one horizontal, slow and intricate towards the end in terms of passing and sequences and generally patient build-up. So Leeds are currently ranked actually 4th in terms of passes per sequence. And then they're actually ranked, what would you say, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They're actually ranked 7th in terms of fast and direct. So they've got a nice little bit of mixture. And I think if we look at a couple of the statistics, as you can see, there they are with an average of 3.94 passes per sequence with the direct speed of 1.82. So they're mixing it up really nicely. They're second in the league for direct attacks. They're third in the league for build-up attacks as well, so they've got a really nice variation. And then compared to Leicester City, they're not that much different in terms of zones of control. In terms of the pressing as well, they're up there ranked third for expected open play goals, with the best defensive record in terms of shots against in open play. So he's got a really nice balance. So how has the tactic done in FM24? I've played through half a season, and it's done really well. We are 2 points clear at the top of the league. 23 games, 15 wins, 5 draws and only 3 defeat. And more importantly as well, less than 1 conceded a game, which I think is really important as we try and make sure that this team is defensively sound. And I do think it's down to the double pivot and also the use of potentially Archie Gray on the right-hand side as the right fullback and not having him super aggressive. With possession numbers as well, we're down in 7th. So once again, not that over-reliance on possession, but we have got the highest in terms of non-penalty expected goals per 90. So we've very much got the statistics in and around what it's looking like in real life. So this is the 4-2-3-1 tactic. Patrons, it is now available for you to download. Go and download it on the Patreon, links down in the description, and then you can use the file to put straight into FM24. If you want to support the channel from £3 a month, that would be absolutely insane. Got a few big months on the channel, a few big months actually in terms of personal real life stuff, so I'd much appreciate if you go and check out the link down in the description. I think we've got still over 100 people supporting me on Patreon. So I am going to go through all the player roles and a couple of reasons why for each. We'll look at a couple of real life scenarios as well to kind of give you an inkling of why we've done certain roles for certain positions. Okay, sweeper, keeper on support for Meslier. We like to build up from the back whenever we can, but I've just put it on support as just a little bit of a go-between between that overextended attack version. Fullback Archie Gray. Now, he is generally a central midfielder, or he will be a central midfielder. Leeds have obviously found a role for him at right back. They have had Connor Roberts on loan from January, but he's only featured as a sub, so obviously we know Archie Gray has had a tremendous season. And if we take a look at Archie Gray's heat map, as you can see, he's very much on the right-hand side. He comes in a little bit, but with us having the double pivot in there, I think a couple of these red spots as well might be a couple of games that he's actually played in central midfield, because obviously that definitely then just changed the heat map. But generally, looks like not an overly aggressive right back, been a little bit of a support option, out in a wide position, but not overly aggressive. So with that, we've put Archie Gray as a fullback on support. The two defenders, now I know Patrick, is it Strike? We're going to go Strike. He's been injured, I think, a long time. I would say, even though he's not playing at the moment, I thought we would do the best version of it. So I've got Rodon as a central defender on defend, no play instructions, and then Pascal Struijk, ball playing defender on defend with the instruction of dribble more. I don't know if we look at his FB chart, as you can see, really good in terms of passes attempted, pass completion, progressive passes, and progressive carry. So that's why we've got that. And obviously a massive loss to Leeds United in this second half of the season. Okay, left-hand side, we've gone complete wing-back on support. Now, I think this is quite open for interpretation, depending on who's played there. I think at times, actually, Sam Byron's played a little bit there. I think Stuart Dallas may have played there, but obviously he's been out injured. And Junior Firpo's played there a little bit as well. I think, how many appearances Junior Firpo made? Yeah, he's only actually started 16 in the Championship, but we've gone with Junior Firpo. Now, looking at his heat map and stuff, and generally how wild he can be, we've gone with complete wing back on support, and it has worked pretty well. He's probably the best left back at the club in the game as well, so that's why we've put him in. Decent pace, decent attacking numbers, and we've gone complete wing back just so he can roam a little bit. Now, the middle two, the defensive midfield, I really want some help with the Kamara role because I was really unsure of what role to do, and we'll look at a couple of things in a minute. But for Ampadu, we have gone half-back with the player instruction, more direct passes and take more risks. I've watched a couple of highlights and there's a couple of goals where he's found Rutter, he's found the striker, Joel Pirot, as well, with balls, quite direct balls, brilliant ball player. But just a couple of his positions. Obviously, recently, he's been playing more of a centre-back. So this is the game against Blackburn Rovers. He's been playing a centre-back. But in the games when he doesn't, so this is the Watford game, the Watford draw, Liam Cooper and Joe Rodon played at centre-half. He's a little bit deeper. Not quite making a flat back three, but he's definitely there, kind of dropping off and being a lot deeper. Now, this is him playing as a centre-half, and as you can see, when he's now been playing centre-half because Stroik's been injured, Ampadu has come into the left centre-back role, and Gruev has come into the side and doing a similar role. So quite a good ball-orientated player is Gruev. So we've gone half-back so he can come in and make a back three. That will then push up Gray a little bit, and obviously we'll then see the movement of Junior Firpo. So that's why we've done that. Now, the most tricky one in terms of trying to sort out a role is Glenn Kamara, and Leeds United fans, I would absolutely love. I've found no research actually on the Leeds United tactic itself, and a lot of the stuff I've kind of used for this video has been me watching highlights and just looking at things like statistics and average positions. So if we look at his average positions, a lot of the time, he's always on the left-hand side. So once again, this is the game against Preston. It's higher than the central midfield. It's higher than the other defensive midfielder who likes to build up from the back three on this left-hand side. And then if we look at his FB chart, as you can see, he's not a massive in terms of defensive. You have got Ampadu, who will often play alongside him, very good defensively, obviously, because he was a natural central defender when he was younger, I believe. He's attacking statistics, apart from shot creation actions, assists around this sort of like the mid to late 60s, not massive. Shots in total is 1, so extremely low. If we look at the possession side of it, passes attempted, 91%, pass completion, 99%, and progressive passes, 87%. Mixing that in with that heat map for the season, we have gone with a register. Now, we've gone with a register as get further forward, just so we can get into these areas that we saw him in some of the average position maps and pass networks, and stay wider, so he works this left space a little bit more. I'd be really interested in all Leeds United fans what you would do with him. He's obviously a little bit of a deep progressor, so maybe a defensive midfielder on spot. I didn't want to go Volante because then he would get too high and wouldn't really contribute much in build-up, and obviously with those passing numbers that he's got, he needs to be in here as a register so he could contribute with build-up. All right, but Leeds United fans, let me know down in the comments. Right, the front three, this is where we get that fast and direct speed from. We've got right winger on attack, no player instructions. It's been a mixture. Mainly, we've got Willie Nonto in at the moment, I think because Dan James is injured. Obviously, superb player, but wanted to leave in the summer. So Dan James has obviously played there a lot. He's actually injured in my save at the moment, but he's played there as well. But obviously, Willie Nonto is a tremendous player in FM to have. So we've gone winger on attack. With Somerville, the goal scorer, like 25 goal contributions from him this season, 21 from Rutter, and even 20 from Dan James, which are really good numbers from those three. So with Christian Val, I wanted him to be a little bit more of a goal threat. So we've gone inside forward on attack. He's right-footed, will definitely want to come in, plays 1-2s, runs with the ball, really tricky player. No doubt if Leeds United don't get promoted this season, he will definitely be on his wave, because Leeds, I imagine, will need to sort some finances out if they don't get promoted. Now, Rutter's an interesting one. I've watched a couple of goals on the highlights, and he does like to get in beyond. And if we look at a couple of average positions, this one in particular, the win against Leicester City, you've got your two wide players quite high, and then obviously the centre forwards. This is either generally Joel Pirot or Patrick Van Bramford are often deeper than what Rutter is. So what I've done is to combine the two and to get that little balance. We've got the striker, who is normally Joel Perrone. He's had a really good start for me. He just got injured, but he has scored 11 goals in 23 games. Doing a little bit of rotation at the moment. We're going through a busy Christmas period, so loads of rotation needed. Rutter, shadow striker and attack, 11 goals for him as well. We want him going beyond. We've got Amapadu, who would take more risks and more direct passing, so we want to try and create those opportunities, especially with the runners as well. And then with the two wide players pinning fullbacks back and Rutter sometimes going long and in behind, we needed a little bit of a support option. So we've got Bamford, or the central striker, bog standard DLF on support, who will naturally drift in. I think that would probably even work with a target man as well. You could probably go target man on support just to do that. You'd just lose that little bit of creativity with that. That is the team. Let me know, Leeds United fans, what would you change? So it's been quite a tricky one, especially with a couple of the roles. The left-back role, depending on personnel. The register role. Have I got the front four right as well? Let me know down in the comments. And then the team instructions are really simple. I was really expecting from a Daniel Farke tactic from the Norwich City days to be super, super aggressive. And I think what he has done is just bring it back a little bit. Lower it down slightly. And not be completely that German Gegen pressing sort of like blueprint, so to speak. So, positive mentality. Pass into space. We want to release those wide players when we can. We want to release. Remember, we're fast and direct. We were quite high. I think, ranked 7th in the league for fast and direct attacks. So we want that. Play out of defence, yes, because we've got Strike in there. We want to play out. Remember, we want to build as well. It's not all about fast and direct. Leeds have got that nice little balance at the moment between the two. Slightly higher tempo, fairly wide attacking width and everything else left off. Distribution, in transition, counter pressing, yes, PPDA numbers good. Counter, yes, because we've got those two wide players, Christensen, Rutter, Dan James, Willian Onto on the wing. So yes, we want to counter. Jadon Anthony, I don't think he's barely played for Leeds United. Him as well. So counter attack, yes. Distributing a little bit different, especially now because Stroyek's not playing. Even though he is in this, I've wanted to distribute to that halfback. Can we build? And what I think that will do is, if we're trying to get that ball to that halfback, the halfback will then naturally drop in a little bit more so he can get the ball off the goalie. So what I've done there is that little cog there. We normally distribute to player and area. No, we distribute into position, and then you just tick it like that. Ampadu in that halfback role. Everything else left off. They do often go long, with Joel Perrone, Bamford decent in the air. I think Rutter a decent size? Yeah, he was 6 foot, so they could definitely go a little bit direct at times as well. So I've left the rest of it off. Out of possession, really simple. We kept everything blank apart from higher line and high press. We've not gone super high. We haven't gone super high in terms of pressing and defensive line. It's not absolutely crazy. Daniel Farke is much more considered than what he was in his days at Norwich City. All right, guys, so that is it. I hope you've liked the breakdown on how I've put the team together using the statistics from StatsBomb, Opta, SofaScore, and FBref. I hope you've enjoyed it. Smash a like on today's video. Check out the Patreon as well. Pretty much appreciate that. Patreon's That Tactic is now available for you to download yourselves. Cheers, guys. Take care. See you later.